The Eternal Bond. Chapter 1. The Beginning of a New Era. The wind carried the scent of autumn leaves through the grand halls of Viridian Academy, a place where the elite and the ambitious converged. The sky above was painted in hues of gold and amber, as if the heavens themselves had blessed the arrival of a new chapter in the lives of three remarkable young women. Standing before the towering iron gates were Naomi, Esther, and Deborah, three radiant souls, each destined for greatness in their own right. Their bond was unshakable, forged through years of shared laughter, whispered secrets, and dreams that stretched beyond the horizons. Naomi, the eldest among them, was the embodiment of wisdom and charm. With her golden locks cascading over her shoulders and her piercing sapphire eyes, she commanded attention without demanding it. She carried herself with the poise of a leader, her mind sharp and analytical. Love was a battlefield she had learned to navigate, yet she longed for something deeper than fleeting attraction. Esther, the enchantress of the trio, was both beauty and mystery entwined. Her emerald eyes held secrets unspoken, and her laughter was like music in the corridors of Viridian. With a heart that burned for passion, she knew how to turn heads, but feared the cost of surrendering her heart to love's uncertainties. Then there was Deborah, the fearless warrior with an unbreakable spirit. She lived by the creed that no challenge was insurmountable, no dream too grand. With hair like cascading rivers of chestnut and a voice that could command both love and respect, she believed that destiny was not written in the stars, but carved by one's own hands. Their arrival at Viridian Academy signaled more than just another chapter in their academic lives. It was the beginning of an era where love, ambition, and destiny would collide. The corridors buzzed with energy as students prepared for the prestigious Welcome Gala, an event where alliances were formed, rivalries ignited, and hearts set aflame. The trio was no stranger to the high stakes that came with social gatherings. The room was filled with people who mattered: political heirs, future CEOs, and intellectual prodigies, all wrapped in the luxury of high fashion and elite expectations. Naomi found herself engaged in a battle of wits with Michael, a young scholar whose sharp mind and confident demeanor intrigued her. Their conversation was an electric dance of intellect and desire, neither willing to let the other win too easily. Esther, on the other hand, had caught the eye of Jonathan, the enigmatic artist whose paintings spoke of hidden desires. He was unlike the others. His presence was both intoxicating and dangerous. He was a man who lived in the moment, unburdened by expectations, and that both thrilled and terrified her. Deborah, ever the warrior, found herself entangled with two souls: Gabriel, the charming diplomat's son who saw in her the fire of a queen, and Tobias, the rebellious musician whose touch sent shivers down her spine. Where Gabriel was a promise of security and devotion, Tobias was the embodiment of passion and unpredictability. Caught between love and lust, she knew a decision would have to be made. But at what cost? As the night progressed, the trio found themselves at the heart of an unfolding storm. Love was never meant to be simple, and neither was ambition. The pressures of society weighed heavily upon them. What paths would they choose? Would they follow their hearts, chase their dreams, or find a way to weave the two into an intricate dance of destiny? But one thing was certain: the age of innocence had passed. This was a new beginning, an era where choices would define futures, and love, in all its forms, would test the very fabric of their souls. Chapter 2. Whispers of Desire and Dreams. The aftermath of the Welcome Gala left Viridian Academy buzzing with speculation. Naomi, Esther, and Deborah had each walked away from the night with new possibilities, tangled emotions and unspoken questions. The days that followed were filled with subtle glances, stolen moments, and the ever-present whisper of change. Naomi had expected Michael to be nothing more than an amusing intellectual challenge, but their conversations continued beyond the ballroom. They found themselves debating theories over coffee, laughing at obscure literary references, and exchanging text messages late into the night. There was an undeniable tension between them, one that she wasn't sure she was ready to explore. For Esther, Jonathan was like a puzzle she both longed to solve and feared unraveling. His paintings reflected emotions she had never dared to voice, and when he spoke, it was as if he could see right through the masks she wore. She knew she was drawn to him, but did he see her as just another muse? Or was there something deeper waiting to be discovered? Deborah, however, was caught in a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. Gabriel, with his steady presence, made her feel cherished and valued. He spoke of plans, of futures intertwined. Tobias, on the other hand, was a storm, reckless, passionate, unpredictable. With him, she felt alive in a way she never had before. She knew a choice would have to be made, but which path led to fulfillment and which to heartbreak? As the semester unfolded, new challenges arose. Academics became a battlefield, friendships were tested, and hidden rivalries began to surface. The trio knew that life at Viridian was more than just about love and ambition. It was about survival in a world where the powerful thrived and the weak were forgotten. Winter arrived with its crisp air and long nights, bringing with it a series of unexpected events. A masked ball was announced, one of the most coveted gatherings of the year, promising mystery, romance, and revelations. Secrets would be exposed under the glow of chandeliers, and decisions made beneath the shimmer of falling snow. As the night of the ball approached, Naomi, Esther, and Deborah each faced their own dilemmas. Would Naomi finally allow herself to feel something real with Michael? Would Esther take a risk and let Jonathan into the depths of her heart? And would Deborah choose security with Gabriel or the untamed fire of Tobias? Destinies were shifting, love was waiting, and the whispers of desire and dreams were growing louder than ever. Chapter 3: The Masquerade of Fate. The grand ballroom was a sea of gilded masks and swirling silks. The chandeliers cast golden light over the dancers, their faces obscured by ornate disguises, their hearts exposed beneath the weight of secrecy and longing. Naomi, adorned in sapphire and gold, scanned the room for Michael. Esther twirled beneath the glow of candlelight, knowing Jonathan's watchful eyes were on her. Deborah stood between Gabriel and Tobias, her heart pounding in time with the music, torn between the safety of devotion and the allure of wild passion. A single night, 1,000 possibilities. As the clock struck midnight, decisions would be made that could never be undone. Chapter 4: The Unveiling. The stroke of midnight shattered the illusion of secrecy. The masks, once symbols of mystery, now carried the weight of truth. Naomi found herself face to face with Michael, his eyes searching hers for an answer she wasn't sure she could give. The electricity between them was undeniable. But was it enough? Esther, breathless from the dance, finally allowed Jonathan to pull her close. His whispered words sent shivers down her spine, a confession of emotions he could no longer contain. But was she ready to let go of the walls she had so carefully built? Deborah stood frozen, her pulse racing. Gabriel extended his hand, a silent promise of devotion. Tobias, ever the rogue, smirked in the shadows, his presence a lingering temptation. The choice weighed heavily upon her. Security or passion? As the final song played, Decisions were made, hearts were broken, and fates were sealed. The masquerade was over. But the consequences of the night were only just beginning.